woman, belt.
Takes the woman beater, he beats woman. A video from me from 10 years ago came out on the newspaper. I'm about to play you a video I made maybe 2 years after that event of me and the woman from the video, the alleged beating victim, sitting in a hotel. This chick, who I'm still with, is cray-cray. Listen to her.
Turn around. Look.
You gonna do it again? Are you gonna do it like a man this time?
What do you mean like a man this time? I've been called a woman beater all over the country.
Well, to me that was like, you need to do it like a real man. Or stop taking a belt off.
You're crazy, you have mental problems.
Does that look like a victim to you? Hates a woman beater, he beats woman.
I wonder if this was this the same video as the belt video? Does anybody have a link to the belt video? Let's see. Andrew Tate hit woman belt video. I wonder if that was the same video, if that was recorded later. I don't know if these are like on YouTube or not, so give me a sec. Damn, I don't watch a lot of like I don't watch a lot of extreme play videos, so it's hard to tell if I don't have the, I can't tell if that's play or not. I don't know. I just don't have the background for it. 2016, a second video emerged shortly thereafter in which he's shown telling a woman to count the bruises he apparently caused to her. Both Tate and the women denied any abuse occurred and said the clip showed consensual sex. Both women, according to The Guardian. Second video, both women and Tate said it was all consensual. Okay, give me a sec. I don't know if these are okay for YouTube or not, I'm not sure.
You can't stay in there forever.
Ooh, this is a lot different, unless we're on like some extended role play, because she walks into another room, she locks the door behind her. But it could be, I mean, like, it could be like extended role play. It could be, I guess. Both women and Tate have come out and said that both of these were all consensual. Destiny, normies take it way further than this when it comes to sexual roleplay. No. What's already being shown is already kind of extreme. Like, we're fully into like BDSM territory. If I had to give like bullshit percentages, I would say probably like at least 50% of women are going to be okay with some type of like restraint. I would say in terms of like slapping with like a belt or like pushing somebody like roughly, you're like starting to narrow your percentages pretty low at that point. In terms of like full-on roleplay where people are locking themselves in rooms and everything, you're into more of like a fraction of the community. None of that is normal. Not to say that anything wrong has happened or it's whatever, we don't know 100%, but to say that like, oh, this is just like normie stuff, that's not normie. We're in pretty extreme kink territory. Andrew Tate's ex-girlfriend speaks for the video going around recently. So this is one of the videos. I believe this was the woman on the bed.
Hello everyone. I just wanted to say something about the video that's been released recently about me and my ex-boyfriend Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw on the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game. He's a great guy. He would never hurt anyone.
First video, woman getting hit with belt. Woman says it was all Gucci. You watch the Vice Stock timestamp interview with a Tate victim here. All of these people are different people. This is why you do this is why I am doing the research to figure out who's who, because everybody starts to get through all the names and everybody like starts to do all this shit together. It's just nice to know who is who. Oh, Tate's Angels. This isn't the girl that was being referred to. Yeah, this is the article that I just got, but I don't think this article is correct. I don't think that was her name. Oh my god. I think that other person was one of his, that article is wrong, I think. See, that's why we do research. I think people just make shit up. Because it says somebody who met Andrew Tate in 2017, I guess? That's according to a Dexerto article. This is claiming that she was one of the women that was detained with Andrew Tate. So that doesn't seem to be the... She's one of the accomplices, right? Yeah, so... Can we at least... We don't even know when these videos are from, huh? We're just shooting in the dark. We do know that the video, at least the first and second video were probably recorded before 2016, since that's what he got kicked out for. But, how come? Big Brother kicked Andrew Tate off show after a video of him beating an ex-girlfriend from the belt emerged, but he and his late friend claimed it was just fun. He said a longer version of the video shows us laughing and I'm hitting myself saying it doesn't hurt. Did he ever release that longer version? Oh, here's a picture of her at least.
Up a woman, and I'm pretty sure not so many of you have seen the same woman coming forward with a statement saying it was nothing but a sex play. So here I am again for the second time. Yes, the woman he has beaten up, and the same woman who has made a statement is me. So I'm coming forward for the second time to just clarify and let everybody know it was nothing but a sex play, consensual foreplay that we liked doing, that I was into, that I wanted. It was not abuse. There was no physical domestic violence happening. It was a consensual sex play. This is the second time I'm making the statement because I'm getting sick and tired of being tagged saying I need to come forward again, even though I did. And I don't like seeing injustice of him being called woman beater for the same video that I've already once clarified. It was nothing but a sex play. So once again, nothing but a sex play, consensual. Thank you.
Okay, we still don't know who she is, but this is they said there was a second one of her saying that it was all consensual. This is the second video, I'm assuming, that came out of this. Her name is Irina. I think this is her Twitch. Cobra Baby. Oh, this is her. Streamed 10 hours ago. Cobra Baby makes sense because it's like the Tate shit.
I'm gonna call for a reservation. Remind me, 10 minutes. What do you think is like a hottest like a thing a woman can wear?
I've had it where I've had girls who say, oh, I know you're with Vivian. I know you've been with her a long time. I don't mind. I'll stay out tonight. You two stay alone. All that shit. But it never lasts long. Because the ones who are really in love with you won't do that. You actually have to downplay your relationship with the girl of 6 years, which is difficult. And I only get away with that because the girl of 6 years plays along. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we felt whatever, we're in love. But when a new girl comes, she'll go, oh yeah, I started off working for him and it's just how it worked out. She'll super downplay us. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28, Vivian's like 21. Vivian's younger, she's more fun, more outgoing.
Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm looking, okay, so sorry. Here's the reality of how this research works. I try to approach all my research in the least biased way possible. But spoiler alert, I've done a lot of background reading on Tate and we've done it on stream and it's probably going to look bad for him. So it's going to come across as biased just as I'm digging through the information. But what I'm curious is, what is the relationship to the people that he is, are coming out and saying, yeah, it's going to come across as biased. I don't know. What I'm trying to figure out is, yeah, what is the credibility of the people coming out and saying that play was consensual? Because if it comes out that like, oh, she's just a girl that like knew him for a little bit, they fucked or whatever, and that's fine. And then she comes out and she's like, oh, by the way, we found a long time ago, but we had like a fetish. It was fine. Like nothing weird happened. It was just like BDSM play. Then it's like, okay. And they're like not friends anymore. It's like, okay, that makes sense, sure. But if it comes out that they were like dating for 6 years, dating since she was 15 years old, if that's true, if the timelines line up like that, and she was part of his like industry of recruiting new girls, and she might be implicated in like something illegal that happened, maybe, then of course I'm gonna look at her absolving him of any guilt a lot differently in the future, because now she starts to take on a different role based on how she appears. That might not be the case necessarily, but I'm just saying that's kind of what yeah. Why is that relevant when there are other women who who accused him of rape and stand by it? Why wouldn't more information be relevant? What do you mean? Why would you just stop reading because you found something you like or something you agree with? You follow all the facts. You don't just find the first thing you like and then stop. Ah, there is a full video. Nice, fine.
Run out my ideas.
Oh, interesting. Hold on. We'll see what this video is.
What are you moaning about, woman? Bruises, why? Why? Beaten with what? With what?
This video seems way less consensual. It feels like it's pixelated, but it feels like she's hiding her. I guess I'm gonna show this. It looks like she's hiding her face a lot from the camera. She's like trying to.
Just why?
She's like, she doesn't want to be recorded, which is strange. if we're recording like consensual BDSM stuff, could be extended play, but this is the second video. It seems a lot less likely.
Why? Beating who's what? Who's what?
You have.
A belt because you're a jerk. Show me the bruises. 1, 2, 3. Oh, baby. Oh, poor thing. I have an idea. Some ideas?
He walks back into a room. Looks like he's gonna pull something out of a bag.
You want to know my ideas?
Pulls a belt out.
That's right, lock the door.
And then when he walks back across the hallway, she's gone into the next room across the hallway and she's locked the door, I think.
You knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
That's that same video. Okay, so we don't see anything, not that much new. Okay, and then it goes to the second video with the one girl in the bed.
Show everyone how pretty you are. Get on your knees and show everyone how pretty you are. Look at the camera. Show everyone how pretty you are. Show the camera your tattoo.
Why the record this? He doesn't seem like an idiot. That was a plausible defense a long time ago, but Tate has actually recorded too much stuff. So in my mind, that doesn't help him anymore. I don't use that excuse for him anymore. Oh, why would he record this? That'd be so dumb. He's already recorded a lot of incriminating stupid stuff. So that doesn't work in my mind anymore. That's not good enough. Okay, so these are just both videos. Okay. There's not much more new here that we can ascertain. Did the girl leak these videos? I don't know how any of those videos got leaked. I'm not sure.
It's not worth it. Is it? I don't know. I don't know.
This is her Twitch stream.
No, don't listen to Ramon because Ramon punches walls. He likes to punch walls. And then his knuckles are all bleeding and everything. Oh, speaking of which, when was the last time you punched a wall? Thank you, Reckless.
Okay. That's her. Okay, so this is his video talking about her. Let's restart this again now.
I've had it where I've had girls who say, oh, I know you're with Vivian. I know you've been with her a long time. I don't mind. I'll stay out tonight. You two stay alone. All that shit. But it never lasts long. Because the ones who are really in love with you won't do that. You actually have to downplay your relationship with the girl of 6 years, which is difficult. And I only get away with that because the girl of 6 years plays along. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we felt whatever. We're in love. But when a new girl comes, she'll go, oh, yeah, I started off working for him. And, you know, it's just how it worked out. She'll super downplay us. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28. Vivian's like 21. Vivian's younger. She's more fun, more outgoing. Melissa's really quite, not in a bad way. She's more homey, boring, sits at home. So if you're going to pair a girl with a girl, it's much easier if the girl's fun. So a description of your relationship process.
So his whole relationship with this Vivian girl sounds super sus. They started dating when she was 15, and now she's 21, does camming. I don't know if the rest of this tweet is true, but if she came from Slovenia, that's like, there's like so many red flags there. Even beyond the age thing. I know that she's a cam girl now. I don't know about this. He got her from Slovenia. I don't know their backstory. This Syrian girl hates Andrew Tate. So it's possible that she could exaggerate things if she doesn't like him, but.
Vivian. So yeah, that's how it started. I met Vivian in Slovakia. We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. It's a really long story. I don't want to tell you the whole story. I moved her to England to be with me to start. We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. It's a really long story. I don't want to tell you the whole story. I moved her to England to be with me to start doing my webcam company, which I started.
Okay. He says he moved her to England to do webcam stuff.
If you don't have a webcam company, you need to look into it, because as soon as you have a couple girls in love with you, it's the fucking easiest money in the world.
Be mellow.
No, I take that back. It's not easy money. You got to build it up, but once you get girls built up, then it's free money. Like every other business, you got to build it up. But I decided I want to start a webcam business. Vivian's beautiful.
Did he say Slovakia? Why did you lock the door? Okay.
I said, look, stop being a waitress, come here, live. In Slovakia,
Oh, he does say
we had a
Slovakia.
long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. It's a really long story. I don't want to tell you the whole story. I moved her to England to be with me to start doing my webcam company, which I started. If you don't have a webcam company, you need to look into it, because as soon as you have a couple girls in love with you, it's the fucking easiest money in the world. No, I take that back. It's not easy
As
money.
soon as you have
You got to build it up, but once you get girls built up, then it's free money. Like every other business, you got to build it up. But I decided I want to start a webcam business. Vivian's beautiful. I said, look, stop being a waitress, come here, live with me. She came. Everything was fine for a couple weeks. Melissa obviously lived in England. They didn't know about each other. They found out. They tried to have a big argument with me. I did exactly as I said, downplayed it, didn't give a shit. Everyone moved in together. Everyone started doing webcam. I was making loads of money. Then we agreed to the split, like we said. And that's basically been it. Since then, new girls have come along. Vivian understands that I'm hoes, but I don't care about these hoes.
So there's like a pattern of lying and deceit and bringing girls from other countries. This honestly, this in and of itself might be enough to constitute sex trafficking. If you bring somebody under false pretense, you lie to them. That's under false pretense. You get them to start doing sex work in another country. I think you've actually met enough elements right there for it to be sort of sex trafficking, but whatever. And then you're camming. The guy you're talking to will defend him bringing in a 15-year-old. I don't care about the age. That's not even an important part of what we're doing right now, I think. Is there any proof that Vivian and Irina are the same person? I don't know. I wonder if this person...
I've had it where I've had girls...
He is not a human trafficker. He would never anybody, and he would certainly never ever human traffic anyone either.
The bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear from the girl. This is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. So I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl...
Set up. Oh my Mel. Oh my Mel, MFC is to help recruit girls knowing what awaits them. The girls struggle to pay bills and are often left stranded. They can livestock, so his growth to Romania. He's reduced some of the experience lifestyle, while Irina tears them down if they don't earn enough. MFC takes 30% of their earnings and reduces cut. The girls only get what's left.
Girls say, oh my god, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this, I make so much money. Or we're gonna go to Thailand soon, we're gonna be working in Thailand, we're gonna stay there for as long as we want. You should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun. This girl's like, okay, well I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka, put on 100 tokens per shot. You say it's your new job now, you haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. These girls have to work for us, and they're not gonna work if they don't love me, because they're gonna run off. So the only way me and you, as a team, are gonna be rich people is if we go get a bunch of girls to suck my together. Do you agree? And if you do that right, she'll sit there and go, okay, let's do it.
Over 50% of my employees were actually my girlfriends at the time, and of all my girlfriends, none were in the adult entertainment industry. Yeah, I saw that one before. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, that's the first woman. We don't know anything about the woman in the second video, do we? I think this girl on the left, I think, is that same woman. Let's check.
I've never seen any of them being aggressive or rude.
I wonder if this is the girl from the first video, or the second one, the one that goes into the other room. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a victim. It says 2 women involved in an investigation. 2 women who have been identified as potential victims of Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan say they were friends of the pair, not victims. Beatrice and Jasmine, who have tattoos with the Tate brothers' surname on it, said that they did not find them to be aggressive or rude and denied they felt threatened. Investigators have confirmed that 6 women identified as potential victims of trafficking. Were these 2 victims part of the 2 in the investigation, though? I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. This is really sloppy wording, because it's not telling me if that's the case either.
Respected people, they started from 0. They lived in a shelter with their mom, and they had no food, they had no money.
Oh, this might be the one from Slovakia, maybe?
Nu, n-am fost niciodată. Dacă eram amenințată, automat nu mai eram situată să stau în casa asta. Spuneau că fetele care veneau la ei acasă erau intimidate de securitate cu arme. Eu încă niciodată ei de la securitate n-au intimidat pe nimeni, nu au arme la vedere, nu sunt puși acolo să intimideze fete sau să întâmple alte lucruri.
But it's written fake.
5.
Yeah, it is.
Why?
I have lots of tattoos, different ones. The Harry Potter tattoo, the moon and the sun.
Am pe mâna stângă tatuajul ăsta care scrie Tate Girl, pe care l-am făcut din respect pentru ei.
Are you Tate's property?
I'm no one's property.
Suntem prieteni buni de 2 ani de zile, când așa nu pot să mă presune că sunt victimă, dar eu n-am spus că sunt o victimă.
Interesting. According to the Romanian Criminal Code, what is trafficking? Art, I am assuming, stands for article. 209 to 217, Chapter 7. This was published in law number 287. Government of the Netherlands. Is this relevant to Romania, or is this like international law, or is this ICC law, international? One here in chat said 2014 Romanian seal. Oh, Romania. Okay. Destiny, there's no evidence the girl in the second video said it was consensual. Well, that's not true. I have evidence from in an article from the Guardian, in an article from the Guardian. They said that a second video emerged shortly afterwards in which he's shown telling a woman to count the bruises he apparently caused to her. Both Tate and the women denied any abuse occurred and said the clips showed consensual sex. But they don't identify either woman or name or release a statement of them at all. So I wonder if they did any like investigation on this, or I wonder if they just assumed because of information floating around the internet. I'm really curious because there's no more information here, and I can't find any information about that second girl online. But who is she? Special part, Chapter 7, Trafficking in and Exploitation of Vulnerable Persons. Seems that both are Slovakian. Yeah, but we didn't... I need more than a Reddit comment, right? We're doing research now, so we need more than Reddit comments. We need... This is just a Reddit title. I need more information behind this. Slavery, pressing of keeping an individual in a state of slavery, as well as trafficking in slaves, will be punishable by no less than 3 and no more than 10 years of imprisonment and a ban on the exercise of certain rights. Trafficking in human beings. 1. Recruitment, transportation, transport, harboring, or receipt of persons for exploitation purposes. So this is for human trafficking. What is sex trafficking insofar as Romanian law or international law is concerned? Microsoft Word, okay. According to the 2014 Romanian Criminal Code. Pressing of keeping an individual status on, okay. Recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons for exploitation purposes by means of coercion, abduction, deception, or abuse of authority. So, what would be the avenues that we would take to argue in favor of trafficking? So, Article 210, Section 1, subsection, whatever the fuck. A.
Marked by lightning.
Probably focus on the deception part. By taking advantage of the inability of a person to defend themselves or express their will, or of their blatant state of vulnerability.
Just what you deserve.
So an example would be of this would be lying about marriage potential / monogamous relationship. Is it possible the woman who called this consensual took part in the process? They have all the motivation to speak on his behalf or go down with them, kind of like the small girl chick was found culpable. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially if she still works with him and she's doing that shit. Yeah, of course. But okay. Let's see. Taking advantage of the inability of a person to defend themselves or express their will or blatant state of vulnerability. An example would be incredibly young, new country, financially destitute. Probably matches that. By offering, giving, and receiving payments or other benefits in exchange for the consent of an individual having authority over such person. Punishable law. Okay. Trafficking in human beings committed by a public servant in the exercise of their professional duties and prerogatives shall be punished no less than 5 and no more than 12 years. Consent expressed by an individual who is a victim of trafficking does not represent an acceptable defense. Ooh, that's a pretty important one. It doesn't matter. That's obvious, but it's still good to have that. Oh, you saying C. By offering, giving, and receiving payments or other benefits in exchange for the consent of an individual having authority. Oh, by C. Oh, no, never mind. You're right, actually. By offering, giving, and receiving payments or other benefits in exchange for the consent of an individual having authority over such persons. This is talking about giving payments to somebody else, I think. Okay, so C doesn't apply here. Unless you're buying it from somebody else. Buying the traffic person. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Trafficking in underage persons. Oh, this is actually good. Somebody brought this up. Article 1, 2. Exploitation of a person. Exploitation of a person means forcing a person to carry out work or a task, enslavement or other similar procedures to deprive freedom of or place in bondage, forcing persons into prostitution, pornography in view of obtaining and distributing pornographic material, or any other types of sexual exploitation, forcing into mendicancy, illegal collection of body organs, tissues, or others. So what does this mean? The practice of
How we feeling? Who's ready to trance it up right here, right now? Let me see those hands up. Come on.
Hunger in my body, I got pain in my blood. Nothing average about me, I done got it out the mud. Really, I'm a young thug, running off some drugs. Millions in my bank account, so I done made it flood. Of course, I won't never go back. Oh, like that was so wide. Still gotta move high. Got PTSD clutching my stride. For nothing, I'm a bang, I just do that cause I
All right, Johnny.
How you doing?
Johnny, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley, on the border of East LA, Monterey Park, Alhambra area.
Which is a predominantly
Asian community.
Even the street signs are in Chinese there.
Exactly. So I had both my parents. My father was, well, I would say my childhood was kind of like miserable, filled with distrust. My father was drunk, alcoholic. My mom was Taoist Buddhist, so you know it was kind of ran like a dictatorship. And you know, we were really young, and my dad would actually beat us, me and my brother and my mom. I sent my mom to the ICU a lot of times, bunch of times. So it was very, very chaotic as a kid. And I think, you know, grew up around that type of environment where there was gangs, drugs, violence. You know, we were low income, not stereotypical Asian, but we didn't really have much money. We grew up around a lot of Hispanics. There was a lot of culture shock as well. Our parents are immigrants, so they didn't really, you know,
Hello?
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 Hello, I'm calling from mobile network providings.
Yeah?
Basically, I was wondering if you wish to downgrade or upgrade to a grade that is higher than your current grading.
Well, I've got 18 months on my contract, so unless you're going to pay that contract, then no.
Well, I could pay the contracting, yes, and then you'd be downgraded to a grade that is a regrade of your current grade.
As long as you're going to pay it.
Well, basically, we pay your 18-month contract off, and then you pay that back to us in monthly installments of £122.50 a month for the first
No,
month.
I don't want that, because you're not paying for it, I'm paying for it.
No, but we pay for it, then you pay for it.
Yeah, I'm not paying for it.
I don't want to pay for it.
Then don't phone me then.
But I thought you wanted to upgrade.
I've got 18 months on my contract, so as I said, unless you're going to pay for it, then I don't want to know.
I call you back in 18 months.
Don't call me back at all.
I call you back 18 months.
No, I don't want your contract.
What do you mean? Why not?
So I can find my own contract.
But it's a better dealings than your current dealings.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What have I got then?
You get 18 months free contract with a monthly subscription of £42 a month for the first 18 months. You get 18 free textings and a couple of ring-dings.
I don't want any of that, thanks.
But you get free ring-ding. You want to hear it?
No, thanks.
You like?
No, I'm happy with what I've got.
I'm calling you to asking whether you want to switch your grade to a grade that is higher than your current grade.
And as I said, if you're going to pay for it, then yes, but I'm not paying for it.
Like I said, we're going to regrade you upgrade to a downgrade, pay the 18-month contract, and then regrade for the next 18 months, which you pay us a monthly subscription of £42 a month for the first
month. No, I'm not paying £42 for a phone.
But it's only for the first month, and the second month is £92.
£92?
With a one-off payment of £18.50.
I don't think so somehow. I get my contract for £22 a month.
But you get free ring-ding.
I don't care.
You don't get free ring-ding with your current contract.
Go and find someone who cares.
But you care.
How do I care?
I know you care. You want upgrading. Everybody want upgrading.
Can I speak to the manager, please?
Why? You're not going to say anything bad, are you?
No, I'm not. I want to speak to your manager.
One moment, please.
Anders.
Hello?
Anders.
Hi. Could I get your telephone number, please?
0207. You just rung it, haven't you?
Sorry?
Do you want our telephone number?
Yeah.
You've just dialed it.
Have I?
You must have done, otherwise you wouldn't be speaking to me.
That's a point. Okay, well, thanks. Hello, mobile network providings.
Hello, I don't like the person whoever's just phoned me up trying to sell me a contract.
I beg your pardon?
What I say?
But we are offering you a better deal than your current dealings.
But I'm quite happy with my contract.
You are happy with your contract?
Yes, I am happy with my contract.
You don't wish to upgrade to a grade that is higher than your current grade before downgrading for the first 18 months?
No, because you're not going to pay for it. I have to pay you back, and I can't afford to pay you back.
But what happens is we pay off the first 18 months, and then you pay us back in monthly installments of £122 for the first month, and then £14 for the next month for the next 48 months.
No, thank you.
Why not? We get free ring-ting.
Oh, piss off!
What do you mean switching no providing? Get away from there,
Man. Bone Jagger is such a classic. That was like one of the OGs of YouTube. Man, I mean, you're probably from that era too. You are from that era, but you probably watched YouTube back then too, Samos. Back when Equals 3 and all that shit was the biggest thing. Same with Phone Jagger. And, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I know about it, man. There's a lot. I think there's a lot better ones, actually, from Phone Jagger. Or maybe... Yeah. I think it is Phone Jagger. Either that or... Yeah, I mean, all the pictures seem the same, but I actually think... I think it was named something other than Phone Jagger. I think the... What was it, man? I think it's something with an O. I don't remember the name all of a sudden. There was another channel where, you know, they pretty much did the same thing. Where, you know, he would call people and he would have different voices and shit. And obviously troll them. And I'm fairly certain it was something with an O. Like the channel started with an O. But I mean, it was definitely not Phone Jagger, but I just feel like all these pictures, you know, that he uses, especially the Indian guy and Terry Tips. I remember that one too.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Maserati 3200. Talk to me.
Did you see
Talk
the
to
asking
me.
price?
I did?
23.5?
Hang about, look. We're not talking money just yet, alright?
How much you
I
want?
want to know a bit more about the car before we get into that. Come on,
Sorry?
you gotta seduce me. You don't just jump into bed with Terry Tips. You take Terry Tips out for lunch. You
Yeah.
wine and dine him. You give him an oil massage, and then he gives you 1950, if you're lucky.
Have you driven Maserati before?
I have. Owned
Oh,
5 of them in the 70s.
It's a great car. It's a great
Beautiful
drive.
car. Beautiful. What colour is it?
It's blue, Natuna blue.
It's a blue.
Yeah.
What about the
Natuna blue.
interior, though?
Interior is cream.
Half fat or full fat?
I remember these ownage pranks. Ownage pranks. That was the one. But I don't know actually. I mean, I just looked up ownage pranks, and it definitely doesn't look like something I remember. Okay, I mean, ownage pranks is definitely not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. 8 years ago, I was thinking maybe they changed 11 years ago.
Uncle.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
I apologize.
Okay, so I do remember ownage pranks, but I mean, I was mixing it a little bit because ownage pranks don't use those images. So I mean, obviously, Phone Jagger is Phone Jagger, but I also remember ownage pranks, especially this Asian guy.
For you, you always talk
Buklao.
like, not like ordered from the food plan, okay?
Okay, whatever you say, I don't understand you. You confuse me.
I'm not understand you too, okay?
Okay, we have that in common. You don't understand me. I don't understand you. We have a very similarity, you know. We'll be the best friend now. We can do the have a good time together, right? Just say for me, boosack, you know. I want the boosack noodle. What's so difficult?
What kind of bull hat you order? We don't serve a bull hat, okay? What kind of bull hat you want to order?
I want to.
That's a Chinese restaurant. We don't serve a bull hat, okay?
Wait, what do you have? What, you don't have a busak?
We have only the Cantonese food and different
Busak
kind, not
noodle.
like bull hat, yeah?
But you have it. You say it right now, buhat.
No, we don't have the bull hat, okay?
You don't have it?
Yeah, I don't have the bull hat.
It's the busak.
Bull hat. What's a bull hat? A bull hat.
The busak.
I don't know what you like to order.
I want the busak. I want the wrinkly busak. What's so difficult? It's so simple for me, you know.
No, I don't have. I don't have.
It look like the raisin, you know. Look like a wrinkly prune, you know. It's a busak. Very simple. Busak, you know.
What kind of bull hat is it?
It's a busak. It's a delicious one. You don't have it?
What do you need?
It's a busak.
What?
It's a busak. Try. You have to say right. Then you can ask the chef. You tell him, can I have a busak?
Can you say it slowly and spell it?
What kind of noodle? It's a W. O.
W O
R.
R.
Q.
Q.
Then the other part is a G.
G.
U.
U.
I.
I.
Can you repeat back to me, please? I try to remember. I learned the alphabet just 2 weeks ago, you know.
Oh, you only learned the alphabet 2 weeks ago. W O R Q.
No, like a two months ago. Sorry, but can you read back to me, please, to say if you say it right?
Oh, work here.
No, it's a W O R Q. Then the next word is a G U I.
G U I. 2 words.
Yeah. Okay. Say it to me, please.
Work Q. Noodle.
Yeah. It's okay. Wait. Hold. Okay. I'm sorry. I think I maybe spelled wrong. Okay. It's a B O. B O. O.
Me O.
No, it's a B O O. It's a busak noodle. It's a B O O.
Busak noodle.
Yeah, it's a busak noodle, right? It's a busak.
I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're looking for.
Can you ask your husband?
Thanks for calling Woman. How can I help you?
Hello, can I talk to somebody who can tell me about a condom, please?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Thanks for calling Woman. How can I help you?
Hello, I call right now. Somebody putting me on hold for like a 5-10 minutes. What the hell happened, right? I'm waiting.
What is it that you need?
I need to talk to somebody with the condom department, please.
Hold on a second.
Okay, don't take it too wrong. I'm so uncomfortable. Sick shit. Okay. Go.
This is guys. Can I help you?
Hello, can I talk to somebody who can tell me about a condom section, please?
Oh yeah, he's the one who did Tyrone.
So this girl caught her boyfriend watching DP pornography on his Xbox. She reached out to me to pull a prank on him. I pretend to be a black guy that she found on Craigslist and act like I was planning on surprising them in the bedroom for some DP threesome action. They share a single cell phone and he's extremely jealous of her talking to other men. Check out how this prank goes down.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Fuck, she just hung up, dude. I hope she didn't tell him about the prank.
Hello?
Yo, April, what's up, boo-boo?
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much is now a bad time. I tried to call a second ago, but somebody hung up on me right away.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry about that. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let me, oh my God. I'm outside right now. Hold on. I'm talking out here.
I'm back in here.
Okay. I had planned something for me and you, David. I just wanted you to talk to this guy, please.
Hello?
Hey, yo, what's going on, man?
Hey there.
Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Tyrone, just so we can kind of be on first name basis.
He hung up again? What the fuck, dude? He's like hyper jealous. You heard him in the background? Come talking here. He was all like, what the hell's going on?
Number is...
On me and, like, you know, wouldn't conversate, so I just walked in this Asia right quick to give you a call, man, because you weren't answering the phone, dog. I was trying to, like, touch base with you and talk about our meeting.
Alrighty, and what do you mean?
Yeah, well, you know, I've been talking to April for a little while, and she was trying to just spice things up a little bit and set up like a cool, you know, a little something between the three of us, you know what I'm saying?
What? You know my girl? What are you talking about? What are you, like a relationship counselor?
No, not relationship counselor. I mean, like, you know, we was she saw that you were into some, like, kinky stuff on the computer, so she put up an ad looking for a well-hung black man for new experiences. And, you know, I came through, and then we was talking about, like, how we can get you in on it. And, you know, I was thinking maybe we could do, like, a cool, like, DP thing going on, or, like, kinky threesome. Maybe I can bring another one of my girls with me. Like, we can make some shit happen.
How do you get this number?
Come on now, Daryl.
DP? What the hell is that?
Daryl? Come on, you know what DP is, man. You know you search that shit on the computer. Come on now, don't play dumb.
Man, don't call this number again, man. I don't know how you got this
Daryl,
number, but...
Can you stop being a party pooper, Daryl? Let's just talk like man to man. Like, I don't understand what the problem is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was just wondering, if I drop this off over on Drive, you think you could give this to Lauren for me?
Here, let's meet up tonight. Let's meet up tonight, homeboy.
Oh.
Twitch streamers beg people not to play Hogwarts Legacy. Claim Harry Potter game will destroy lives. Uh-oh. Before I start this fucking video, don't put this shit on us, all right? I don't want to fucking, like, I'm not taking ownership of these people, all right? Here we go. All the Twitch streamers. Yeah, right.
Yesterday, I did a video on the fact that, well, Hogwarts Legacy is doing really good.
Doing
it's
really
the number
well.
one selling game on Steam and PS5. And it's the number 2 game on Xbox.
Okay.
The game isn't due out till February 10th.
Okay.
And it's already just dominating every chart.
Okay, let's get to the part where the crazy people are tweeting and we get to react to the crazy people. Got it?
I do think that it's quite hilarious that this is happening.
Yeah.
It also looks like it's going to be a long game.
Uh-oh.
Reports are coming out that the game is probably going to take...
What kind of casual fucking shit is this? What kind of casual channel? It's going to be a long game, guys. It's going to take 70 hours for 100% completion. Oh my God, I do that in a day.
Take about 70 hours to complete.
It's lightweight. True.
If you just blow through it, about 35 hours. If you do everything, 70 hours. So that's where...
Bro, like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is side quest in Witcher? Bro, yeah, 70 hours in a day? Yes.
We are at with this game. Basically, if you want to skip the puzzles, you can, and then you'll just do a 35-hour run. And that will vary. I would say it'll probably be 40 hours for most people, which for an RPG is actually pretty good. So it looks like you might get some value there.
Okay.
However, you know as well as I know, the backlash has been considerate for this game. A massive boycott has been called, which is why the game is selling on every platform. People are tired of these activists.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that the considerable and massive boycott is a tweet with 3,000 likes? Can we acknowledge this? It's like whenever I watch the news and they show a tweet and they say Twitter is on fire over this new change, and then somebody says $35? That's too expensive. I quit. And it has 17 likes and 3 comments. Oh, it's really on fire. Uh-huh. 100%.
Tired of them. And I really do think that's helping push this
Samos, when the fuck are you gonna play World of Warcraft, dude? It's actually not too bad in the solo queue. I don't know if I've told you this. So you basically sign up and you play 6 games. So you rotate between the players. So if you're like 6 players playing, because it's 3 versus 3, so you get to play with every single setup once. You get what I mean? It's actually kind of fun. But I mean, obviously, since you're playing 6 games together with those people, chances are, you know, there's gonna be a little bit of tension if there's one guy who just sucks real cuck. Sometimes, you know, you're gonna have games where just one person is just really bad. So whenever you're playing with this guy, you lose. But I mean, it's actually kind of fun, and it's kind of like no stress. You get what I mean? Since it's solo shuffle, there's no voice comm or anything. It's just go in, blast, and get out. Oh yeah.
Here we have a PS5 that came in for a ripped fan connector. Customer tried to clean the console. He opened up the console and he ended up ripping the fan connector. The customer is local. So as you can see, we have 5 missing pads. Every single pad is missing. And if we take a look at the connector was still stuck to the fan. And it looks something like this. We're gonna have to clean the ripped pads of the connector. And I already grinded this. The middle pad is ground. Those are the supporting pads on the sides. This one connects with this and this. And then we're gonna have to run the wire from here to here, a big wire. And we're gonna have to run the wire from here to here. Yep, the same. Now, in this video, I want to try something new. I want to restore the side pads using copper tape. A customer came in locally about maybe 3 weeks ago and he brought me this roll. He said, try it. So I want to give it a shot. I want to see how it does and if it's useful. The copper tape looks something like this. And we can try it. It does not hurt to try it and see how it goes. And I thought let me make a video and show you if that copper tape works or not. Now the first thing I want to do is apply solder on the exposed copper that we have on the board. And that's why I grinded the traces so we can pre-apply solder. And the reason we want to pre-apply solder is because I want to apply copper tape, and I do not want the tape to be just stuck on the board with adhesive. I want it to be soldered onto the board for a good secure connection. And the tape looks something like this. We're gonna have to cut the tape. It's too big. Maybe if we cut a piece like this. I mean, either my blade is dull or it's not easy to cut this copper tape. You may have to cut it with a scissor. Let's try this. And it did. It worked. We're gonna have to apply flux because flux helps with the flow of solder. All right, and look at that. That copper tape looks good. It looks good because we can solder that tape onto the board. I mean, it's copper. End of the day, it's copper. So there's no reason why we would not be able to solder that copper tape on the board. Like I said, we do not care about the adhesive on back of the tape because the adhesive will do nothing. When we have the connector on the board, the adhesive is not going to support the connector properly. But since we soldered that tape on the board, now the tape and the board are one piece. How awesome is that? Okay, so now we're gonna solder this pad right over here. Okay, and that copper pad and the board are one piece. We're gonna have to carry this copper tape in our shop because it's amazing. Maybe we can do the same for pad number 1 on the left. But the hard part would be to actually cut the tape for that size. Maybe if we carry this copper tape in the future, I'll buy a much thinner one. Or we're gonna have to carry a couple of sizes. I think we need a longer one. This one is not long enough. I want it to extend all the way to the front because the connector is going to end up hiding that pad and we're not going to be able to see it to solder it. So let's grab a bigger one.
Be mindful of your time.
Some of you may be asking, why not use a pad strip? Pad strips are microscopic. This one here is bigger and thicker. And we need something bigger and thicker for this big line. And for the middle one. For this one, we do not care. We can have a thin wire. But for this one here, we need something big and thick. We're gonna add some flux, just like that. And I'm gonna tin my soldering iron tip. Add solder. And let's grab that wire. And now we can trim the end. The magic of the anti-glare light. And what you see here is the adhesive from the copper tape. The adhesive that's on the bottom, it's not a big deal. I want to look into seeing if we can get copper tape without the adhesive. But it would not be called tape anymore. It would be called a copper roll. We'll see. So all this is the adhesive, but we can clean this up later. Not a big deal. Let's cut another piece of tape, copper tape. And we can cut it right here. And like I said, nothing is more accurate than a finger. I'm actually grabbing the tape with my finger and not the tweezer. And now the tape is steady. It's not wobbling and moving all over the place. Nothing is more accurate than your finger. And we'll put a piece of tape right here. I may have flipped this piece of tape. Yeah, let's do it like this. Now this middle pad is ground. We can connect it from the top or bottom. Look at this.
Everywhere I look, I see something that needs
I accidentally touched that pad, but
Do you think you can
that's
document
okay.
along the river?
If that pad wanna play games, we can play games. And finally, we're gonna have to run a wire. Any wire or pad strip would do. Let me grab a pad strip, and I'm using pad strips number 4. Let's see which one. Let's grab this one here. We no longer need this piece of copper tape. Put it on the side, and now we're gonna focus on the pad strip, and we're gonna solder that pad strip right over here. Now I'll be more comfortable if maybe I rotate the console, because I'm grabbing the pad strip with my left hand and we're gonna solder with the right. And if you are a lefty, you can grab the pad strip with your right and solder with your left. It's always
yeah. So sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. Sick of niggas dying. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired. So sick and tired. I'm sick of niggas dying. Yeah. If I name drop, they get more lit. Cause them niggas ain't big as I am. And I feel like I'm blessed with a big excitement. And I work through the pain, I ain't into crying. They said it was hard, they ain't even lying. How you want it, you ain't even trying. They got me hurt, so I gotta drill. I gotta chill, cause I got a deal. Who can I call when it's getting real? I thought I was rich when I got a meal. I want you to overstand. I gotta help you out, I can't hold your hand. Go brainstorm and make a little plan. worry about me, nigga, you a man. I'm on the gram talking to my fans. Play my song, I'm hoping that they dance. Somebody got shot, I'm hoping that's his man. I'm trying to survive and focus on these bands. Yeah. Nigga, shout out my daughter. I do more for them. Yeah. Than anybody in this world could offer them. And I'm watching how they giving them lies. You don't know how I be feeling inside. On the real, that shit kill me inside. Try to forget, but it's sit in my mind. I got some killers that's willing to die. If you look, you see the drill in their eyes. They don't give it, then I'm still in the prize. I'm at the top, but I'm still on the rise. I gotta work, I ain't chilling inside. I hope my haters is feeling the vibe. I'd never let them shit on the guys. I'ma do what I can 1,000,000 times. I'd never let them shit on the guys. Yeah, I'ma do what I can 1,000,000 times. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick of niggas dying. If I name drop, they get more lit. Cause them niggas ain't big as I am. And I feel like I'm blessed with a big assignment. And I work through the pain, I ain't into crying. They said it was hard, they ain't even lying. How you want it, you ain't even trying. Look, somebody come, somebody gotta leave. I don't even know that's how I gotta be. Watch what you say when you wanna be. They take a lyric tied to the beat. And I ain't never crying when it's heat. I ain't never tired of the streets. I cut him off prior to the speech. And I ain't even know why he was a leech. I don't pay no attention to the media. Cause they gon' act way different when I'm meeting them. And she gon' act way different when I'm seeing her. Yeah, I tell her pull up, but she come on like 3 of them. Yeah, and I'm only trying to maintain. I'm with the niggas that gangbang. Yeah, and I'm still new to this fame thing. I need a Richard Millie plain Jane. I came a long way from that A train. I don't switch sides, I don't lane change. The police just want us to name names, but we don't never play the blame game. I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick of niggas dying. If I name drop, they get more lit. Cause them niggas ain't big as I am. And I feel like I'm blessed with a big assignment. And I work through the pain, I ain't into crying. They said it was hard, they ain't even lying. How you want it, you ain't even trying.
The sundered flame have been delving into my vault. They do not understand.
Down. Let's go. Hey, we go 5A. We go 5A. Off the Coronas. Down. Hey, I met little mommy in Delhi. Hey. Hold on. Nah, where the perks at? She was horny. Ready. Hey. She like, why you so sexy? Hey. Hold on. Hey. I met little mama in the deli. Hey. She was a wetty. Hey. She was horny. Ready. I was on it. Heavy. Hey. She like, why you so sexy? She fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit get messy. I met little mama in the deli. She was a wetty. She was on it. Ready. I was on it. Heavy. She like, why you so sexy? Fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit get messy. Bagged you. I felt like I had to. Take how you put your words together so perfect, bitch. I'm playing Scrabble. I be just playing with them bitches. I dip and I dabble. They don't got beef with you, girl. They just in the reason to tag you. I'm from the bottom like gravel. Rap beef, I don't battle. Fabi, it's natural. Hey, brand new drip. I need a brand new bitch. 350, E-Class. Jerry got a brand new whip. I got the flexing on him, no inbox, sending messages to him. When I step up on him, got a shooter with me, he better do him like, I put the weapon to him, he be running fast and he better sue him like, but you can never get away. They know I'm heavy on the straights. I'm probably moving with the trace. Getting boom, you in the way. I put the shooters in your face. Hey, Fabi, I'm lace. I'm all over the place. Tito, car, speed, race. I met little mama in the deli. She was a wetty. She was horny. Ready. I was on it. Heavy. She like, why you so sexy? She fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit get messy. I met little mama in the deli. She was a wetty. She was horny. Ready. I was on it. Heavy. She like, why you so sexy? Fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit get messy. She love me on the low. She keep on loving on my post. She say me and Huff on this cash boy, cause I'm always gonna ghost.
This is what you doing? I thought it was close.
I love the money the most. Got the curry, I'ma go. Hold on, wait, dope stepper. Tito and Sosa, the salt and pepper. That's black and white cause it go together. I'm getting dressed, I ain't know the weather. Hold on, wait, with a Henny in my system, make it go ever. The ops hear me, they know I'm better. Hey, with me, man. I knew she'd love me to death. Look at the way that I step. All this drip when I dress. Hey, flex. Fest, Fabi, I'm next, and I put that on the set. Hey, she she need me. She told me she need me. She give me whatever I want. She a genie. Ayy, gotta pay for a feature. No freebies. They like I like how you move. Folly, teach me. Ayy, I met little mama in the deli. She was a wedding. Ayy, she was on it. Ready. I was on it. Heavy. Ayy. She like, why you so sexy? She fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit it get messy. I met little mama in the deli. She was ready. She was on it. Ready. I was heavy. She like, why you so sexy? Ayy, fell in love when she met me. Tell your ex to come check me. All the shit it get messy.
I want to take you away from all this shit. Shit dumb. I'm 5, like. Feel me? Like, I'm gonna take you from drip to big drip. Yeah, you still running the store. We ain't doing none of that no more. We going viral now. You ever been to the moon?
No.
Let me take you to the moon. Yeah, I got something for you. Take this. Yeah, take that. Go viral. Make a movie.
Bobby, I love you.
Let me.
Why are you so sexy?
I don't know.
The elements answer to me.
Hey guys, welcome to a very special edition of A State of Trance, the annual State of Trance Year Mix 2022. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year, all the best wishes for 2023, may all your dreams come true. I hope you enjoyed the special broadcast last week when we played the top 50 countdown of 2022. And I want to start by saying a big thank you to everybody that took the time to go online and vote for your 5 favorite trance tracks of 2022. I think we can all agree it's been an amazing year for trance music. And here it is, the State of Trance Year Mix 2022, a selection of 107 of the biggest trance tracks of the year. A lot of labor of love went into this one. Big shout out to everybody that watched my live stream a couple of weeks ago when I was creating the year mix. I'm really proud of this one. It's the 19th edition. And now we're going to play it for you uninterrupted, including a very special video mix. So I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget it's also available on your favorite streaming portal and on 2CD. So again, Happy New Year, and here it is, the State of Trance Year Mix 2022.
Here we are, dear friends, all together again, loving, dancing, living under a new sun. Life isn't easy sometimes. Some of our friends struggle more than ever, and we realize we have so much to be thankful for. As we look forward to the future, let us not forget the past. We must recognize this gift this universe has bestowed upon us. Life, the dawning of the age of grace, with new opportunities to give ourselves to a purpose. The road to get here may have been long, it may have been wistful and paved with tears, but in this new year comes hope. Hope that within each drop of rain lives joy, so that when it lands on our faces we are renewed. Much like a spring flower, we bloom with wonderment and delight, with all the colors of the rainbow, with acceptance for all our brothers and sisters, from our LGBTQ to BLM, and anyone who feels unseen, unheard, and unloved. So here today, let us rejoice in each other, with each other, hopeful for a bright future. Let us celebrate in the music, under the stars. Let's go down the rabbit hole once again. Let us celebrate in this state, a state of unity, a state of trance.
This was your year 2022.
It's okay. You're not alone. Come with me into the unknown.
Helge, ja. Helge, ja, haben. Ja, hello. Helge, stille ven. Ah, no. Helge, så kom ned til far. Helge, kom ned til far så.
Yes, yes. So beautiful. So powerful. All for me. The elements answer to me! Azure Blade. I do not blame her. I should have thought of her before I left. This door. I sense a breach behind it. The sundered flame must be this way.
What is she hiding? Did she send you? Enough! Aha! I've got you! Ice cold! Her secrets will be mine! Now you will pay! Ice cold! Her secrets will be mine! The elements answer! Freeze! Her secrets will be mine! Freeze! Now you will pay! Freeze! Her secrets will be mine! Ice cold! The elements answer to me! Her secrets will be mine! Freeze! Now you will pay! Ice cold! Her secrets will be mine! She lies!
We are too late. Oh. Oh no.
production, they hold the strings, they control the puppets. Feel sorry for this beat, sympathy pains for this track. This road is taking me back down.
Sick boy, this makes me sick. I'm really trying to speak some truth on this. Thing is, people don't realize how precious life is. Like, you literally only get one shot. The greatest feeling in my life. Said I feel it. Like I'm brainstorming. I've been on and off the grid.
Der er sgu ikke nogen, der gider at lave 17. Jeg tror, vi skulle 16. 16, det er sgu det nye. Det er der, hvor man lige begynder at få concentrated primal focus, I guess.
know how to fit in. So we kind of had to learn everything from the streets. You know, when I was young, I had a very peculiar mindset. I trusted in myself a lot because I felt like I couldn't trust my parents. One time, you know, I was 10 years old and I got jumped for the first time. Had my backpack stolen, had my shoes taken. I went home and my father asked me, "Where's your backpack? Where's your stuff?" And I said, "You know, I got jumped by 4 Hispanics, you know?" And he didn't believe me. He thought that I threw away my backpack. He thought that I wasn't trying to do good in school. So he beat me after that. So yeah, I kind of went through a lot with the beatings and a lot of trauma. And so at the age of 12 years old, I actually joined a gang. I joined the Watchings, the Chinese triad type of gang out in that area. Very big gang.
So these are Asian gangs?
Yes, a lot of Asian gangs out there. We're very incognito, hush-hush, tight-lipped, but they do exist. And so I joined that at 12 years old. And a lot of people ask me, you know, why would you join that? You know, why would you join a gang, you know, at the age of 12? And a lot of people will say it's probably due to, you know, their broken home or a broken family or drugs or violence, just the environment. For me, particularly, in my opinion, I noticed that it stemmed from trusting and believing myself. When I was young, I thought that if I did everything I wanted to do, I would be happy. So having fun, going out with gang members, stuff like that, I thought was really fun. And the things that I didn't want to do, such as, you know, exercising, studying, doing homework, I didn't do because I thought if I did everything I wanted to do, I would be happy. And the things that I didn't want to do, I didn't do because I didn't think it would make me happy. So I looked at the gang life and it started at the core of my heart. You know, I really wanted to be a gang member. I really wanted to, I looked up to those people. And so I joined that type of lifestyle. 3 months into it, at the age of 12, I caught my first case. And that was originally a kidnapping / robbery, but they dropped the charges down.
At 12 years old?
At 12, yeah. And ended up, it was with a group of people, of course, but ended up catching the charge for dissuading a witness for the benefit of a gang. So ended up going to YA, California Youth Authority. I was at SRCC first and then caught a couple fights in there, got written up, they call it level Bs, and then ended up going to Fred C. Nellis YA. And, you know, I was 12 years old, they gave me 4 years. And when I was in YA, I learned a lot of, like, it cultivated the mindset to believe in myself even more. I really trusted myself because I had seen rapes, I had seen murders, I had seen stabbings, fightings. I learned how to fight there. They call it gladiator school for a reason. You know, you fight a lot. And I learned like the 2-second takeoff rule, meaning if you feel disrespected within 2 seconds, you have to handle it, whether it's stabbing them, fighting them, beating them up. Otherwise, you'll be labeled a punk, excuse my language, a bitch, a leva, stuff like that. So, you know, I did 4 years there and it was really, really traumatic. And I get out, you know, 67 days, 2 months and a week. I catch my second case. This time I'm an adult. They try me as an adult. It's 2 counts of assault with deadly weapon. Again, it was supposed to be a robbery and attempted, but they dropped the charge down. I pled out. They gave me 10 years, 85%, so 8 and some change. So yeah, I get to prison and it's a whole nother ballgame. It's first off, I'm Chinese, so being there, we were outnumbered. It really was a racial thing, whereas in YA, it was more of gangbanging. It was a little bit of race, but you had to represent your colors, represent your flag, represent your people. But when you go to prison, you have to drop your flag, you have to drop everything, and you have to represent the other car or the race, right? So in there, I had to calm down because I was a YA baby. I didn't know how to program. After about a year, I learned how to program the rules, the regulations, and everything, and I was able to really start to kind of function in prison. You know, I went through a lot of depression, so I had seen some counselors in there. You know, I'm just being honest. Like, I was able to get my GED. I was able to get anger management, counseling. And everything looked on the up, but there was one thing that I really couldn't get rid of, and it was this emptiness and this void I had felt inside of my heart. No matter what I did, I really couldn't overcome this emptiness and this void. And it didn't matter what I did, you know, I just always felt this sadness and feeling inadequate as a human being. And so, you know, some of the older homies, the people in there, the people who kind of like represent us, we usually look to them for advice. So one of the older guys, some old Chinese dude, he's like, bro, you should start reading, you know, and working out and kind of get your mind off of things, because he noticed that I was kind of like an overthinker. And so I started reading. I read the Quran in there front to back 3 times, read the Bible in there front to back 2 times. And, you know, it didn't really do anything for me, honestly. So I get out after doing my stretch. I parole out of CRC Norco, and I meet my mom, you know, and she didn't really visit me much. She's an older lady. She didn't know how to navigate the correctional facilities and stuff like that, so she didn't really visit me. But I noticed a difference in my mom. You know, she had this this inner peace about her that I really didn't understand, because mind you, she has not just me, but my brother, 2 kids in prison who were incarcerated. My brother did also 12 years. And she was still married to my father, her husband, who was still an abusive, alcoholic person. She still lived in Section 8. She still had, you know, all that trauma and stuff like that. But she had no circumstances to be happy, but I realized that she was happier than I was, you know? And so I asked my mom, why are you so happy? You know, what changed? And then she mentioned church. And at that time, honestly, it's like I rolled up the windows in the car. You know, I was like, I'm not trying to hear about that, Mom. I don't believe in God. We were raised Buddhist. I'm good. So she said, fair enough. You know, she didn't push. She didn't say anything. She just let me be. So as I got out, I had that heart that I wanted to still do better and do good. You know, I had lived my whole life doing bad things and following myself, trusting myself. So I wanted to get a job. I wanted to help my parents out, you know, and I tried to look for a job, but as a 2-strike felon with a violent crime, yeah, it wasn't happening. I applied for even like McDonald's, FedEx, UPS, all the places that they say they hire convicted felons. And I wasn't showing any love, honestly. But immediately I went back to the streets. You know, I started to sell drugs again. And at that time, you know, I was still on parole. So it was very risky looking over my shoulder. And I just felt like this was not something I could make a career out of. And so, you know, I devised this plan to actually rob a drug dealer, you know, because my thinking at the time was, if I'm selling all these drugs, it's risky, but if I just rob someone who sells all the drugs, then I would inherit and gain a lot of money. So it was me and a friend of mine. He was like my road dog. And I told him, hey bro, let's rob this dude. He's a well-known drug dealer in our area. Anyway, you know, I told him I was gonna go to the right of the car. He was gonna go to the left of the car. And, you know, when I stepped to go to the right of the car, my friend stepped in front of me. So naturally I went to the left of the car. As I'm walking up on the driver's side of the car, I hear 3 gunshots, you know, and when it rang out, I actually assumed initially that it was my friend who shot the dude. You know, I was like, damn, you didn't even give him a chance. Well, whatever, you know, it is what it is. We'll roll with the punches. We're very cold like that. But actually the car sped off and I realized it was my friend that had gotten shot. And, you know, he was just laying there. I remember vividly, like, the sounds, the noise that he was making, and he was dying. And there I'm holding him and he died in my arms, you know? And yes, every time I think about that, I get a little emotional, but, you know, that moment was very pivotal in my life because I had thought about it, like that was supposed to be me. Actually, if I went to the right of the car, I probably wouldn't be here today. So, you know, as I seen that, I started to really think in my life, like I could feel death around the corner. You know, it didn't matter what I would do. I felt like I was on borrowed time. I felt like I was gonna die soon. And 3 days after that, I had received a letter from one of my friends, just a childhood friend. He grew up with us in the projects in Section 8. He gave me a letter that was really eerie. You know, he's like, you know, think about me when I'm gone, and just saying these types of things. And 3 days after that, I find out that he had committed suicide in jail. So there was death all around me, and I was feeling that, you know, it was creeping up on me. And, you know, miraculously, my mom actually, a couple days after these incidents had happened, her car had broken down. And she was like, hey, Johnny, like, I need you to take me to church. You know, she's a translator. She was very like involved at the time. And so I said, yeah, there's no harm in that. You know, I want to help mom out. You know, I didn't spend all my life, you know, being bad to her. So I wanted to treat her well. So I took her to the church. But I told her very specifically, I don't want to be evangelized. I don't want to talk to the pastor. And so when I get there, I remember this pastor runs out and he's like, hey, Johnny, you know, good to see you. And why don't you come on in for some food, you know? And they had made like some Some black bean noodles. And that's actually my favorite dish. You know, I love eating black bean noodles. For those Asian Sundong people out there who know what I'm talking about, it's like a delicacy for us. You know, I grew up eating that stuff. So I was like, what's the harm in eating? You know, but I told the pastor, I don't want to hear about God. I don't believe in God. I'm Buddhist, et cetera, et cetera. So we get there and I remember he sits down and after we finish eating, he asks me two questions that really kind of shocked me. You know, he said, are you a sinner? And do you know what sin is? And at that time, I felt a little angry, to be honest, because I felt like that was a loaded question. Like, who's not a sinner? You know, we're all born imperfect. We're all flawed as human beings. We've all made, you know, bad decisions in our life and stuff like that. So I kind of got mad and I told him, yeah, of course. And he said, so what do you think about sin? And I said, well, sin is when you do something bad and then, you know, you go against God or you know, shoot people, stab people, you know, lie to people. That's a sin. And he said, not so. And that was the first time that it kind of like, he shook my world upside down. I was like, what do you mean? You know, this is kind of weird, because that's what I always learned. Even though I wasn't Christian, Catholic or anything like that, I knew that doing bad things is a no-no. You know, you don't do that. But he explained to me that sin was actually twofold. The first thing is, it's trusting yourself above the word of God. So trusting yourself more than God, that's what sin is. And number two, it was inheritance. So he explained to me the analogy of, you're Chinese, you didn't choose to be Chinese, you were born that way. Your father was Chinese, his father was Chinese, etc. It was passed down. Likewise with sin, it wasn't that you did anything wrong, but your father, you know, Adam was evil, he was sinful, and then it passed down to us. So we were born as sinners. And at that time, it really made sense to me, because my son, you know, he was like 4 years old at the time. And, you know, I always taught him well, you know, hey, don't follow the way that daddy went, you know, like be good, respect your elders, etc., etc. Never taught him how to lie, steal, or do anything like that. But at the age of 4, you know, he loved eating gummy bears. And I remember, like, he would always want gummy bears. If he could just live off of gummy bears, he would do it. But with the veggies, you know, I told him you have to eat veggies first and then you can eat some gummy bears. But I would see him trying to hide the veggies, trying to take it to the little potty and throwing it in there. And, you know, who taught him that, you know? And he even got to a point where he would steal the gummy bears. He would scoot the little stool over, climb on top, reach at the top of the cabinet, pull out the gummy bears. And I caught him red-handed. I'm like, what are you doing one day? And he was like, nothing, Dad, nothing, you know? So who taught him that? I never taught him any of that evil stuff, but it was part of him. And it was something that was actually normal for him, for kids to rebel. And then he used the analogy of an apple tree, which really put it in perspective. He said, when you look at the seeds of an apple, where are the apples? But if you plant it, as it grows, it'll only produce apples. No matter how hard it tries, it cannot produce oranges or mangoes. Likewise, when you look at a baby, where's the sin? It's very cute, it's loving, but as it grows, as it matures, all you see is sin. They start to, you know, lie, they start to cheat, steal, they can even murder, you know? And so when I saw that, it really made a lot of sense to me as a person. And I was able to see that, oh, we're just being normal. It's not that I did bad things and then I became a sinner. No, I was born flawed. I was born imperfect. And he had mentioned, you're an imperfect person trying to produce perfect results. Of course you're gonna fall short. So that's why I had emptiness and depression and loneliness inside of my heart, because he was showing me that it wasn't these surface level things, but it was at the core of the heart, because everything is rooted in the heart, right? Everything came from the center. So I was trying to basically put a Band-Aid, like, oh, I had anger, so I take anger management. No, if you peel back the layers of an onion, you'll realize that you'll get to the root of it, which was sin produces everything. And I started to realize, oh, I was looking at it from a wrong perspective. So he said, it's okay, you know, and then he used the analogy of like a car, and he was saying that there's a braking system in the car and it must overcome the accelerator. Otherwise, you know, if the accelerator overcomes the brake, we will crash, right? No one would drive that car, even if it was a Ferrari, because it has no brakes. Likewise, we are people who need to have self-control. If we don't have self-control and our desires are like the accelerator, if it keeps going, I want to do drugs, I want to make money, then if you don't manage that, you'll crash out in life and you'll live miserably. And when he was saying these things, it was hitting me in the core of my heart. Like, wow, this guy knows me, but I just met him. And I really didn't understand how he knew me through and through, you know? And at that time, he said, you're a person, because you were born flawed, imperfect, in sin, you don't have the capability to stop yourself. And so you need something else to help you. And in that case, he said, that's where I come in as a pastor. He said, I am your braking system, right? So at that time, he had asked me this one question, and he said, how is your relationship with your father? I said, it's horrible. I honestly hate him. You know, I feel like the reason why I joined the gang, the reason why I was angry, the reason I was
level this way, but then it's pitched into the shower itself to keep the water from coming out. This right here is our shower transition. You want to make sure that it's nice and level this way, but then it's pitched into the shower itself to keep the water from coming out. This right here is our shower transition.
Right, my friends, I have to do a wee shout out for Jamie Lee Weir, who's up in the Muse. Jamie Lee, say hello to everyone.
Hello everybody, gonna get blocked tonight.
Yeah. That's our
Det eneste har været rigtig meget snak om mental sundhed i musikbranchen på de sociale medier. Jeg synes, det er rigtig, rigtig fedt, at vi tager snakken. Jeg synes, det er fedt, at der er nogen, der bringer fokus på de her problemer. Især oven på sådan nogle triste historier, der har været på det seneste med folk, der ligesom er brændt ud og har fået det rigtig dårligt inden for den her branche i Danmark. Jeg har bare nogle enkelte tanker omkring, hvordan jeg synes, vi skal angribe det her, fordi lige nu der virker det også en lille bit smule, som om der er rigtig meget snak, men der er ikke særlig meget handling. Den første ting, jeg synes, vi skal gøre, det er, at vi skal gå væk fra bare at snakke om bedre mental trivsel i musikbranchen. Jeg synes, det er rigtig vigtigt, at vi begynder at dele det op i underbrancher, sådan så vi på den måde ligesom kan angribe det fra en lidt mere konstruktiv vinkel. Vi kunne snakke om bedre mental trivsel inden for livebranchen. Vi kunne snakke om bedre mental trivsel inden for udgivelsesbranchen, inden for bookingbranchen, inden for spillestedsverdenen, inden for alt det her, sådan så vi på den måde ligesom kan få sat nogle retningslinjer og sørge for, at det hele ikke er så forbandet abstrakt. Fordi jeg tror, lige så snart vi begynder at kigge på de enkelte områder, i stedet for at fokusere på musikbranchen som en kæmpe stor suppedas, så bliver det en hel del lettere. Den anden ting, jeg gerne vil sige, og som er meget mere konkret, men måske også er en lille smule mere kontroversielt, det er, hvis vi gerne vil lave et reelt tiltag, der fremtidigt kan hjælpe os inden for det her med at sørge for, at unge mennesker de har en god oplevelse med musikbranchen og får god mental trivsel og alt det her, det er nok at gøre op med hele forskudstanken, som eksisterer lige nu. Det er jo ret normalt inden for udgivelsesverdenen, at hvis folk de ligesom får en pladekontrakt, så får de et stort forskud på forhånd. Og det kan jeg sagtens forstå. Det er jo også en måde af pladeselskaberne at sørge for, at den her artist, som der måske er rift om, netop vælger dem. Men jeg synes ret ofte, det ender med at være omdrejningspunkt hos de artister, der ender med at få det rigtig dårligt. Det her med, at de får en hel masse penge, en ordentlig pose kapital i hånden på et tidspunkt, som de jo i bund og grund egentlig ender med at se lidt på som et lån. Det er nogle penge, der skal betales tilbage, og det er nogle penge, der skal tjenes ind, og det er noget, som de ligesom skal være med til at kanalisere tilbage igen på en eller anden måde. Prøv at forestille dig en 21-årig, der får 500.000 kroner i hænderne, og så ikke rigtig måske er helt klar over, at det her det er nogle penge, der hen ad vejen skal tjenes hjem igen. Man kan sige, at før i tiden, der handlede det her om store forskud inden for musikbranchen jo også om, at der var en hel masse udgivelser forbundet med at lave for eksempel et album. Men der tror jeg, at vi lever i en lidt anden verden lige nu, hvor folk har egne studier og egne muligheder for at sætte alt det her op selv. Så altså, jeg siger ikke, at vi skal gå helt væk fra den her tanke om at give nogle store forskud. Måske skal vi så bare til at sige, at artisten får udbetalt nogle penge hver måned i løbet af de næste 2 år, eller et eller andet i den stil. Fordi det er en ret konkret ting, som jeg tror kan være med til at hjælpe unge menneskers mentale trivsel inden for musikbranchen. Det var bare lige en lille mandagstanke for mig. Peace!
Is it worth upgrading from a Gen 2 Tesla wall connector to a Gen 3 Tesla wall connector? Well, that's what we're going to be answering in today's video. We're here at a job where I installed this 3 years ago. I'm going to be ripping this out and putting in the new Gen 3 Tesla wall connector. And we're going to be sharing with you in depth all the pros and cons of upgrading, what are the differences between the two. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So this is the install that I did 3 long years ago. This was actually the first ever Tesla wall connector that I installed. And I'll leave a link up here where you can watch the original installation video, because I did film this one back in the day when I used to film everything on my phone. It's a little bit rough and ready, but you'll see the difference in how far things have come with Tesla chargers and with our channel in general. This is not your typical domestic install, because actually it's a 3-phase installation. Our customer here, very lucky, has a 3-phase supply to their property, so he said, well, why don't I get the full shebang and get a 3-phase Tesla wall connector install? But actually the Tesla wall connector itself is the same whether you do single phase or 3-phase, and that is the same with the new Gen 3 as well. Essentially with this one we've got a 3-phase circuit running from the distribution board, a 3-phase type B RCD, and I'll explain why it needs that in a minute. Big chunky cable, it's I think a 10mm 5-core cable, because it is quite a long cable route. I remember having to get floorboards up and it was quite a complicated run through. And into this charger we also fitted an earth electrode and earth rod in the driveway there, because this doesn't have PEM fault protection in, so either needs a PEM fault protection device or an earth electrode for the charging point only. So I'll quickly show you the earth pit, because actually I'm quite curious as to how well it's aged and whether it's still in good condition or not. And then we're gonna get the Gen 3 paired up to the Wi-Fi already, because that is a little bit of an issue that we've been having with them. You might see my previous video where I said that the Tesla Gen 3 wall connector is the worst EV charging point ever. Well, there's a reason, because Wi-Fi connectivity can be a challenge on that, so we'll try and get that bit out of the way. So like, eat your veg first, you know, and then eat your desserts afterwards. The dessert is actually putting it up on the wall. I feel like Indiana Jones uncovering this old earth pit that I installed. Perfect. So, lots of cobwebs in there, but that looks pretty decent to me. The connection to this copper rod is as solid as ever. Looks like we've got a good earth connection there still, which we can use for the new charging point, so that's great. We will do a test reading on it later, and I'll show you how we do a test on earth electrodes, but for the moment we'll pop that back and we'll get the Gen 3 unboxed. So what I'm doing here is literally just putting it on a plug top, and then we can liven it up temporarily in order to do the Wi-Fi setup on this, because it has been known to be a bit of a nightmare. And we've got this portable power station that we use, which is obviously not enough power to actually, you know, to charge a car, but it's enough to power up this unit and then just get it paired to the Wi-Fi. So this is one of the unique features about the new Gen 3 Tesla wall connector, is that it does have Wi-Fi connectivity, and you can see when you power it on, it creates its own Wi-Fi network here, which we can click on, connect to. Okay, so now we've got the Wi-Fi. What I can do is type in the IP address and then click search, and we then go into Wi-Fi and we connect it to the customer's Wi-Fi network. So after a little bit of faffing around as usual with these lovely charging points, we managed to get it connected to the Wi-Fi. You know, it only took 10 or 15 minutes. Could have been a lot worse. It's done now. The firmware is up to date on it, so we're confident that when we put it on the wall, it will pair to the customer's Wi-Fi again. Now is the fun part. We're gonna rip the old one off the wall, and we're gonna put this new one on, and we're gonna talk about what are the differences. Now before we take the cover off this, we've got to do something regarding safety, which is turn the power off. Nobody wants a crispy electrician lying on their driveway. So I'm going to isolate this back at the mains, but there are other electricians working on site today because they've been doing a solar install here. So I'm going to use my lockout kit today to make sure that nobody else turns the power off while I'm working on the system. Okay, so we are surrounded by other electricians who don't want to be revealed on camera, but we have locked out and tagged out, so we're now safe to work. So I'm just about to take the cover off this, but the first thing that really stands out, which is different between these two charging points, is this cable. This tethered cable on the Gen 2 is huge and thick and heavy. I think I mentioned it in the original install. It is not the easiest cable to work with. The new one's much thinner, and I'll explain why in a bit. Now, it always feels like you're going to break it when you take these off, because they just pop off, and the only thing that holds them on is that little star screw at the bottom. But it is what it is. You just got to pull until it pops off, and it is always a little bit scary. So this is the Barco stubby screwdriver. I did do a Tools for Sparks review on this, and this is my tool of the day today. I've not used it in a while, but it's so handy because it's a ratcheting screwdriver. So it just makes removing screws in stuff like this really, really quick and easy. So I'll leave a link below where you can get that, and a link to the Tools for Sparks video that I did, sort of an in-depth review on it. So I'm happy to see that the IP rating of this charging point has not been compromised. It's been in for 3 years, but not a drop of water has got into it, so that means I installed it well in the first place. One thing I do love about the new Tesla wall connector is how much more space they give you for the connections. This one was just so tight, especially when you're doing a 3-phase installation. They give you hardly any space at all, whereas the new one, you will see, there is enough space to swing several cats. You may have noticed that I left an exceptionally long loop of cable below this charging point, which I didn't need to do. I could foresee today happening one day, and that's the thing. Time ebbs by, things change, technology changes. People want stuff to be swapped over. So I always like to plan my installs with the thought of, if somebody comes back here in a few years' time to change something, how can I make their life easier? And in this case, I made my own life easier. So behind our charging point we have some flora and fauna that have built up. I will try and clean this up for our customer because I'm presuming he's going to stick it on eBay for some VW ID3 Tesla wannabe owner to buy, and then you know, it'll at least get used again, because things like this should not be thrown in a bin. We should reduce, reuse and recycle. Question is, will the screws line up? It doesn't look like they will actually. If I offer up the two back plates together, I mean the back plates line up pretty well, but actually the screw holes don't line up at all. Definitely getting too old to be on the tools now. What else do I need? When you go back to the van 10 times in one day, you know that you've had a lack of preparation. So when you get to the van, think, what am I going to need next? So I've got things to mark the holes, I've got screws, plugs, I've got a level now. I think I've got everything, but undoubtedly I've forgotten something. Brain fog after 3 o'clock.
A few moments later.
I knew I'd forgotten something. Ear defenders. It's almost as much of a Swiss cheese wall as mine. She's same bricks as my house. I hate these bricks. They're the most rubbish bricks that were ever fabricated in the history of brick fabrication. They just crumble when you look at them. It's like you just got to cast your eye over them and go, I'm going to drill you, and they're like, ugh. The mortar in between them just like is so rubbish. It just crumbles everywhere. I think my house is sort of like holding on by a thread at the moment from having drilled 6 holes in it because the brickwork is so bad. Anyway, brick rant over. Just because I need more exercise. So we've got some new followers from the local school now who've seen the van, watch us on YouTube, and they've seen the cameraman and they're like, oh, I want to be in a YouTube video. As always, this job is not as simple as it looked. You know, customers, they think, oh, you just, you know, take the old one off, put the new one on. No worries. But there's so much you need to think about, like the difference in regulations and safety devices since the original one was installed. But now I've hit a real snag, which is that the Gen 3 does not have a cable entry for an earth cable for the earth electrode. So I am now faced with a conundrum, and I would love to know what you would do in the comments below. My ideal is always to take the cable in below the charger, because if you take it in the top, inevitably water can run down the cable and go in. Now obviously we'd be fitting a compression gland, it's going to be tightly sealed around the cable, so it's unlikely, but in principle I prefer to always go in underneath than on top. However, the issue we've got is there are no separate cable entries below apart from the main one. So if I take this in the bottom, then I cannot take the earth electrode in. Oh, wait. I may have just answered my own question here. There is a small gap down in this corner. Now I think that's a drainage hole. What I'm now wondering is there a little bit where you can drill out at the bottom and get an earth cable in there, just next to this? I'm tempted to try. You know what? If you don't ask, you don't know. So I'm going to check the instructions and see what it says. Very slow, very poor signal. 1 million hours later, I'm going to fall asleep like this. When's Elon Musk going to start rolling out the old Starlink connection? I could really do with it right now. It'd probably be quicker for me to cycle over to Elon Musk and ask him personally. Hello, is that Elon? Oh, hi. Thanks for tweets, by the way, always entertaining. Just wondering if you know whether we can take an earth wire in the bottom of the Gen 3 wall connector. Stop laughing. Everyone does that when I say, can I take something in the bottom of a charger? It's designed for an American system, and you don't use earth rods in America. What do you mean you don't know what pen fault protection is? You're Elon Musk, you know everything. Okay, he just hung up on me. Apparently he doesn't, and they've not designed them to take an earth rod in the bottom because... Stop it! It's just not funny. Okay, I'm just going to assume that we can't do it because this is never going to load. And I've got to, you know, I've got to get this job done. Right, so we've come to the consensus. Elon has responded and said that there is a way to do this without being a complete cowboy. You can use the drain hole. So that's what we've decided. The customer agrees. That will work. Decided I'm fed up with my own incompetence. Every time I do a video lately, I look like a complete idiot. So I'm gonna tidy up my workspace, make myself look like a professional, and then start filming again. Now, how much do you reckon the customer's gonna get for this on eBay when he sells it? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below, and that takes us to one of the comparison points between these two, which is the price. I've bought both in the past, and I can tell you that they both cost exactly the same amount. So they're £460, including VAT. Obviously they don't sell these anymore, they only sell the new ones, but the price was the same, you just get an upgrade essentially. So I finally got the cable actually terminated into the enclosure, and now the easy part really, connecting the wires in. As it's a 3-phase, we've got L1 and L2 and L3, so grey is L3, the neutral is the blue. And they do give you lots of space in here, which is what I really like compared to the old one. As you saw it was pretty tight for space. L2 is black. Just tuck a little bit of slack and then shorten that slightly. So in case you're wondering what the difference is between 3-phase and single-phase, 3-phase, it basically enables you to have the potential to charge up 3 times faster, as opposed to single-phase charging point in the UK runs at 7 kilowatts. A 3-phase charger can run at 22 kilowatts. Now, it all depends on the actual onboard charger of the vehicle, so the Tesla Model 3 will only actually charge at a maximum of 11 kilowatts anyway. So that's like 16 amps per phase. It's not going to really make that much difference between 7 and 11 if you have a 3-phase charger, but you know, makes a little bit of a difference. Some versions of the Model S and X, I believe, have a 22 kilowatt onboard charger, which means that they can use the full 22 kilowatts of charge from a 3-phase charging point, which is great. So some of you eagle-eyed viewers might notice I'm leaving this earth wire disconnected. This is the supply earth from the house. So it's connected in the consumer unit, it's protecting this cable, but I'm not connecting it into the charging point, and that's because the charging point needs to be connected to the TT earth, which is the earth electrode that we've put in. And that's basically just so that if somebody's standing on the ground and they're touching the car and the ground are on the same earth potential, there's no possible potential difference, because you don't want someone to touch the car and get an electric shock. So that's sort of in layman's terms why we put an earth electrode in. So all my connections are done now. I've just got to screw this cable back to the wall, and then we can pop the cover on, and I'll show you something clever about this, because this funny little square box is quite a clever little device. So this is the bit when all the magic happens. These 4 pins in the back here actually go into that little socket there, and that's why there is no cabling between the back plate and the front plate, because these pins provide the connection between the two. And then there's a little pin down here which does the earth connection. That goes into that little slot there. And so all 5 conductors are making contact with the front plate without any additional wiring. And that just pushes on and it fits nice and snug. And then we just got to sit those 4 screws to secure the cover on. Now in the little bag where the screws come, there is a mysterious cable tie. And I doubt if Tesla are including cable ties for no reason, so let me know in the comments what this cable tie is for. So now that that's all mounted, we can wrap the cable around, and it wraps around in a very similar way to the Gen 2 wall connector. And some people have commented, I'm not sure who, that they think it looks like a bit of a mess, to be honest, the way it just, you know, hangs around the charger. But, you know, there are worse looking chargers, there are better looking chargers. It is what it is at the end of the day, it's all down to taste. That holsters into the side like that, which is, I think, exactly the same as the previous generation. And, you know, it doesn't look too bad. Now, I said to you earlier that I would tell you why this cable is thinner than the previous generation Tesla wall connector. And if you put them side by side, you'll see what I mean. It's the new Gen 3, the plug is smaller, the cable is much smaller. The plug is much bigger on the Gen 2 and the cable much thicker. And that's because, oh, I can barely lift it. Let me put the old Gen 2 down before I drop it. The reason this new cable is so much thinner is because it's designed for a newer generation of vehicle. The old Model X and Model S in the USA could charge at 80 amps single phase. So that's why that big, thick cable was needed in certain situations, but now those are sort of the older generation of vehicle. This is designed to work with the newer generation of vehicle, like the Model 3 and the newer versions of the Model S and X, which charge at a lower rate when it comes to AC charging. In the USA, this can charge at a maximum of 48 amps on single phase. In the UK, we don't allow that, so it's maximum 32 amps single phase, or 32 amps per phase in a 3-phase installation, which this is. So this can do 7 kilowatt single phase or 22 kilowatt 3-phase. And this cable is nice and flexible. It's a lot thinner, easier to work with. If you look at the actual writing on the cable, it's a 6mm squared conductor inside it. So it's a 5-core 6mm cable. And if we look at the old one, I think, let's have a quick look. Okay, so it actually says it's a 6-core 6mm. and it's got 5 times 0.5 in it as well. So it's got more kind of communications in it, it seems, but it's also got 6 power cores, which is kind of bizarre. I don't really understand why that might be. Let me know in the comments. But either way, that is a much thicker and heavier cable, more difficult to lift and work with and plug into your car. So that is one advantage to the new Gen 3. So I've removed my padlock and the power is back on. Managed to avoid getting electrocuted by another electrician, which is always a bonus. Now let's do some tests and talk about the features of this Gen 3 charger. We have power. So we've done an earth loop impedance test at this to see what the resistance of our earth electrode is and the